My name is Kaarsholm. I'm looking after industry and market development at Motif. And today we're sitting inside my living room here in my apartment in Nørrebro, Copenhagen. We live in this apartment block that is owned by my wife and her sister and their dad. Friends and family in the entire apartment block, and really nice to be able to also just have the kids run up and down, and we have these shared dinners every now and then as well, and it's really nice and unique. Yeah, I grew up on a farm. I think the great thing about that was that we had a lot of space. The house was heated by firewood, so every now and then need to go out and chop firewood, for instance, to heat up the house. You know, very early 90s. My dad quite early on introduced us to a computer back when computers were not a normal thing, and that has completely defined my career. I always knew that I wanted to do something with 3D modeling in the whole space, if you will. Earliest stuff I modeled was in 3ds Max. I actually wanted to be a game designer or a visualizer, and that's where my appetite for 3D and 3D modeling, I guess, came about. I realized that the building industry was on the verge of going into 3D with BIM and Revit and so forth. Some of you may know that I've been one of the very loud voices around the need for new tools and new software, and I've been complaining a lot. I just got to a realization at some point that instead of complaining or providing feedback, it was time to actually get on the other side of the fence and actually do something meaningful about building this next generation of tools. Because I truly, down to the very core of my body, believe that we need new tools. Yeah, so we're building what we in Denmark refer to as a summer house. I know it's probably a summer cottage elsewhere. We've been building for about a year now. I designed, drew, and did the entire building myself. It's been a really fun and also challenging project to put together. We've been told by a lot of people that it looks like a house that have always been there. It's modern on the inside. The look and feel from the outside is more classic. I really enjoy doing stuff with my hands, crafting stuff or cutting stuff or painting stuff. A particular thing that I've been doing a lot is making these sort of woven paper hearts. It's something that I've really put a lot of passion and energy into over the years, and I've come to think that I'm doing some very complex ones by now. I like the challenge, being in the zone, making it work, and just sit there and be very detailed with your hands. Yeah, so I have a 4-year-old daughter and a 6-month-old boy. My daughter Anna, she hasn't seen me work, but I think her assumption is that I'm building buildings, and I sometimes think that she thinks I'm building them myself. There's a lot of very well-known architectural firms in this city, and I love biking around and seeing all this stuff. And there's just a fantastic spirit. To me, it feels like I'm home in Denmark. I'm in my native country, but yet I have this sort of international feel to it when I walk around the city. But it's a city that has a lot to offer. You know, now that I've been part of a few projects here in the city, that obviously also makes me quite proud to see some of these projects come up. You know, I can take my daughter and little son there and point to them and say, I did this building.